Okay, hello everybody. Paul Richards here with PTZOptics, and this is going to be an exciting live stream. I think it will be. I hope it will be. And I certainly think that the first thing I want to do is turn on my pot of water here. You know, we want to get these ideas percolating. We want to boil up these ideas. We've got some great ideas. And why, Paul, why are you in a chef hat? Why are you wearing an apron? Why are you in a kitchen? Good questions, people. Good questions. Well, today, instead of being in our live studio, our virtual set that we usually use, our standard system, which we've created and we use over and over again to create live streams every week, and high quality video content for our business to market and spread our communication throughout the world, all around the world, for free on YouTube Live in 1080p video. That's what we usually do. But we had an idea. What is the biggest hurdle for businesses? Anybody can go ahead and click live stream. It's free. You can do that on YouTube, you can do it on Facebook, you can do it almost anywhere. But how do businesses make themselves look professional? How do they create the tools that they need to do live streams, to do virtual sets, to do all the things that they need to create a perfect, brandable live stream that they can stand behind? So turn that off for a second here. I want to show you guys a couple slides. I'm going to take you through what you need to know, what your marketing team might need to know, and we're going to go through this step by step. So the first thing I wanted to mention is this is a two-part series. So turn my percolator back on there. So series 1 is today. It's all about branding. What are the tools that we need to create a high-quality live stream, a high-quality video content creation machine? What are those tools? And then May 27th, we're going to talk about the major brands that are already using this technology. SpaceX, Elon Musk's innovative company that launched the very first rocket that actually came back to space and could actually be saved and reused, they're using live streaming. I can't tell you how cool it is. They do 2 live streams, one technical live stream and one hosted live stream for the general public. So you can actually choose between 2 ways to watch a real live rocket launch into space from Cape Canaveral, Florida, and it is really, really cool. Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, one of the richest people in the world, this year decided to live stream his entire shareholders meeting with the world. This is one of the most successful people in the world saying, let's live stream. And they're communicating their message unlike it's ever been possible in history before. So how can small businesses, medium-sized businesses, even large businesses start using this technology that's already, it's there for you guys. It really is. Before we get started, what did the plate say to the fork? Let's keep this lighthearted, folks. What did the plate say to the fork? Fairly straightforward. Everyone knows this. Lunch is on me. That's what it said. I don't know. I think it's a funny one. Anyway, what we need to do is we need to talk to your marketing department. Hopefully you have a marketing department. If you do, I guarantee they know how to use Photoshop. They may be experts in Adobe After Effects. A few of the things we're going to talk about today. But if you don't have a marketing department, do not fret. There are places like freelancer.com, other places like videoblocks.com that we're going to go talk about that will actually do this stuff for you. The things that you need, an intro video, a lower third banner, maybe an outro video, a credits file. Those things can be built for you by freelancers very affordably. These people could be in India, they could be in China, they could be in Europe. These freelancers are all around the world and they want to help you. And they are experts in Photoshop and After Effects and the things that you might not be. You know, you might be an entrepreneur, you might be really good at what you do. Don't be afraid of this technology. You can get other people to put it together for you. And the very most important thing, I always talk to businesses about this, is start a YouTube channel. If you do not have a YouTube channel, stop this live stream and go create one. It is so important to have a YouTube channel today. YouTube is the #2 search engine. It's more important to be on YouTube than Bing or Yahoo or all the others combined. Google obviously is super important, but YouTube, I can't tell you how important YouTube is. And we have some success stories. We can talk a little bit more about YouTube. One statistic that Salesforce.com came out with this year is that a video that receives 7,500 views a day is the equivalent to having 46 hyper-efficient salespeople spreading your message for you. Now, getting 7,500 views is very difficult. That would be a pretty successful video. But let's say you only got 400 views, or a tenth of that, maybe 750 views. That's still almost 5 salespeople working for you every day. So make these videos work for you. And before you click that go live button, don't push it, not yet. Watch this video. Maybe stay tuned for our part 2 of this video series. Make sure you look professional. I feel like that's one of the biggest hurdles for businesses. They're not quite sure, how can we put all the pieces together so that we look professional when we go live? And I want to give you guys a couple of my secrets, a couple of the reasons why, what makes this so popular and easy. So one thing here is the Adobe Creative Cloud. This is $50 a month, and it gives you access to every single Adobe product. So you will get Photoshop, you will get After Effects, you will get Premiere, and maybe you don't need all those. Maybe you just need Photoshop. Maybe you just need After Effects. Maybe you can get by without any of these, and that's possible. But I just wanted to throw it out there for $50 a month. Adobe Creative Cloud is out there for you to just get started right away, and it's a really easy. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars for Photoshop and After Effects anymore. There's a really low monthly fee. So we're definitely going to be talking about Photoshop today and why Photoshop is so important. Photoshop is really, I understand if you do not want to use Photoshop because you're a salesperson or you're an entrepreneur, you're in charge of your business and you have other things to do. That I get it. That makes sense. But Photoshop is something I personally, in business development, I use it every single day. And somebody on your team should most likely be using it. If you don't have a graphics person or a marketing person, somebody's going to need access to this. And if you don't want to pay for it, GIMP is free. So check out GIMP. It's a very easy to use, simple platform for just editing files, putting your logo on a file, adding a file. And it's very easy to do, and you can buy stock footage and you can put things together that will make your live stream look really great. So before we get too detailed into everything, what do you call fake noodles? You guys have heard this one before. It's an impasta. I'm trying to pepper in a couple jokes here and there, folks. Trying to pepper in a couple jokes. So one of the most important things here when you're using Photoshop is to understand the difference between a JPEG file and a PNG file. So I feel like I'm in the really super beginners here, and then I've got, I think, some advanced viewers, so I won't spend too much time on this. JPEG files are very small files that do not have a transparent background. PNG files do have a transparent background. So right now, as you can see, it's a transparent picture. You can see inside the little circles on the side of the page. So that's transparency for you right there, and it looks professional, it looks good. So that's something that you might want to think about. What I'm going to do very quickly is show you guys Photoshop. I don't want people to leave this webinar and say, I don't know what Photoshop is. So here I am in Photoshop, and I've opened up this recipe that you saw in my live stream. And as you can see, it's a PNG file, and I can just go ahead in there and change the title. I can change the picture. I can have an unlimited amount of layers in my Photoshop file. So just imagine what you can do with that. Put your logo in a certain place, create slides for your live stream. There's just so many different things that you can do with Photoshop. It's really an essential tool. You don't have to use it, okay? It might not be for everybody. This is something for your marketing department, something for those of younger folks who have decided that they want to learn how to use this stuff, or you can always hire a freelancer. So don't feel like you have to learn how to use this in order to live stream, but it's pretty much an essential tool. So I wanted to show you guys that. So that is Adobe Photoshop, really one of the core platforms. I used to use GIMP, and then I said, you know what, there's limitations to GIMP. I'm just going to buy Photoshop. I'm a power user, but for some of you out there, you might be able to get away with GIMP. So that's how we make our JPEG files. That's how we make our PNG files, GIF files, anything that's a static picture. But what if we want to create an intro video or a template? There are ways of doing that, and that's After Effects. And again, don't worry, guys, you don't have to learn how to use this stuff very much. You can download pre-made templates from websites such as videoblocks.com, and I'm going to show the template that I purchased for this theme right here, right now, that we're looking at. I'm going to show you how to use that in After Effects. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, just a little bit. I just want you guys to see what it looks like. So this is After Effects, and this is the template that I purchased from VideoBlocks. I downloaded it there, and I went ahead and started to change the pictures and the text inside of it to create my template. So this is the intro video that you saw at the beginning of our show, and I'm just showing how easy it is to just double click and change text, and just maybe we'll resize the text and fit it into the layer. It's a little tricky. I mean, I remember in the beginning it took me a few days, hours and hours to learn how to use it, but someone on your team should probably learn how if you're going to try to do live streaming. And again, this is really not necessary. You can very easily hire a freelancer for $10 or $20 to create you a little intro video. Don't stress out about learning this software if you've got other fish to fry. This is just something that you can learn how to use, and it's just a fun software that is really it enables small businesses to create their own broadcast systems, their own broadcast shows. Super, super powerful stuff. Your marketing department is going to like this. Your marketing department should be all over this. And if you don't have a marketing department, don't worry. We can put this together for you. We can help you how to do this. So, of course, you need a camera, right? Have to say that, right? You do need a camera at some point, and PTZOptics cameras are ideal. I'm using one now. They're great cameras. You can have presets. You can use the same camera for video conferencing that you use for your live broadcasting. So that was something that I learned and I wanted to share with the world when I finally started figuring out about live streaming and how all this works. Is if you've got a USB-based video conferencing system you use for Skype or for GoToMeeting in your conference room, you can use that exact same system to set up high quality video content just for marketing. Video about product A, video about service B. You can live stream to the world to get your message out in a timely manner. You can do so much with this technology, and you might not have to purchase anything. You might already have everything you need. If you're really, really getting advanced, I didn't want to forget about Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere is really what the professionals use to get the perfect shot. So you can actually send video directly to Premiere. And with NDI, there's a new NewTek NDI plugin for Premiere. You can send your video feed or your live stream feed right to Premiere, and Premiere will send it right back with all those color corrections, all with almost zero latency. So it's a really great piece of software. One more joke for everybody. What did the cake say to the fork? I thought this was a funny one, so I'll let everybody just think about it for 2 seconds here. What did the cake say to the fork? It said, "You want a piece of me?" So that's that joke. Let's see here. You want a piece of me? One last little joke for everybody. What do smoke detectors warn you about? 90% of the time, it's your cooking skills. Let's not lie. And 10% of the time, hopefully never, it's actually a fire or something important. So I had to obviously put together some recipes that would work, and I wanted to talk about some live streaming recipes. So we're going back to our core content here. One of them I wanted to talk about was the vMix Go. I don't know how many of you know vMix, but vMix has a really nice little live streaming solution that you can plug, let's say, 4 PTZOptics cameras into via HDSDI. Maybe you have a little network and you want to run network cables to those cameras so you can control them with vMix. In this solution, we're assuming that it's mobile, so we have 4 tripods and a wireless microphone mixer, a lapel mic, and 2 handheld microphones. Just getting the juices flowing here. Actually, you know what? I forgot to turn on my pot of water. There it is. Keep that going. I got to keep the juices flowing. And you know what? To be completely honest, I think it's getting a little hot in the studio. Don't you guys think it's getting a little too hot in here? And I promised I wouldn't let it get too hot in the kitchen. I really didn't want it to. So let's cool down for a second. Let's get out of the kitchen. The kitchen's just a little too hot. And let's ask you guys, have you guys ask me some questions. You know, what do you guys think? You know, where is the live streaming market headed? How can your business use this technology? We want to ask you guys some of these questions. So let's chill out. Let's take a second. Let's not let it get too hot in the kitchen here, and let's put it on ice. Let's hear what you guys think. You know, I would love to hear from you guys about the live streaming market. Does anyone here, have you ever used vMix? Have you ever used Wirecast? Have you ever used a TriCaster, VidBlaster, XSplit, OBS, Open Broadcast Software? Has anyone used these technologies? Because the takeaway here is not just that you can do live streaming, but you might already have the technology you need, maybe just minus the software, or maybe just minus a nice microphone. You maybe have a computer, and you maybe have a webcam. You maybe just need a nice microphone, or you just need the software, or you just need to start thinking about the graphics. You just need to start investing a little bit of time in managing your intro video or your outro video. So has anyone used any of this technology? I can see Jonathan's telling me that he's a vMix user. That's wonderful. We're using vMix right now. So didn't want to get too hot in the kitchen, but we still got some more stuff to talk about. So let's go back to the kitchen. Just wanted to let it simmer for a second here. Let's see, what else do we have in the kitchen? Yes, we do have a few more recipes. One of my favorite recipes, and some new stuff coming out with the NewTek TriCaster. Obviously, NewTek has released the NewTek NDI for live streaming. And in this recipe, we're looking at another mobile solution, or maybe just a affordable solution for live streaming, would be the NewTek TriCaster. And the TriCaster Mini, this is the SDI version. We have 4 12x SDI PTZOptics cameras, 4 HD SDI cables, which can do 1080p 60. We've got 4 RS-232 cables and 4 RS-232 to USB adapters, because the TriCasters require an analog RS-232 connection, which in my opinion is better for mobile solutions than setting up a MIDI network. But if you have a network already in place, maybe it's just better to have something like vMix, where you can control everything over IP. Also, we have the TriCaster Advanced software. Something I learned about the TriCaster Advanced software is that you can use it to switch video inputs based on an audio input. Similar to Eastern Shore Broadcasting's audio-controlled switcher, you can use the TriCaster Advanced software to use what they call macros to trigger anything, basically based on anything. So you could say, if microphone B hits decimal level X, I want to switch the camera video input to this. So that's kind of a cool thing. I just wanted to mention. One of our customers came out, and Jim Davis actually told us about that. And then one of my favorites here is Wirecast. What I found out is a lot of people like to use Wirecast. It is a rock solid platform. They were one of the first platforms to build in Facebook live streaming, and just a great platform in general. Really big fans of this. And right here, we're talking about using a Mac computer. So Wirecast is, if you're a Mac user out there, Wirecast is one of the best for Macs. We're looking at going all USB here. We got USB extensions, so we can put those cameras up to 100 feet away. Wall mounts, and then, of course, an audio mixer as well. Looks like Dave uses vMix. Cool. And Prashna is also using vMix. And looks like we've got the audio service special, who's working on a switch from Wirecast to vMix. Cool. I like that. Wirecast is coming out with Wirecast 7 soon, so keep an eye out for that. vMix is on 17, which had some really great NDI stuff. Ton of great stuff that came out. I'm so happy with what vMix has done. And that's really our show, guys. So what we're going to do is we are going to hang out after the show. And we're going to have a post show, which I found out is very easy to do. We're just going to hang out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my credits rolls, which is also completely branded. So I'm really happy with the way this branding came out. And then we will just stick around and we'll answer questions. So thanks, everybody. Have a nice day. Okay, that was our show. So now I'm just hanging out with you all fine folks and seeing if you have any final questions. Looks like Value Source is saying, is TriCaster the only option to convert green screen in real time? I am using a green screen in what I consider real time right now, and I am using vMix. I